Hi everybody, today I wanted to talk to you about making tea light candle holders. You know I like to use pallet wood, but of course you can use whatever you'd like. So tea light candles, reminder, this is a tea light candle, and they come in unscented, and they actually come in a lot of scented flavors as well. So the reason I'm making this video is because I wanted to give you some heads up on some things that I learned as I was going through this process. The first place I went to buy some tea lights was at, I think it was a Dollar Tree. So I bought a bag of 16 unscented candles for $1, and they also have some scented candles. Of course, you only get 8 for the same price. Now, I went there just because I wanted to, buy something as inexpensive as possible and experiment. So I brought them home, I measured candles, and they are like right at 1.5 inches. So I thought, well, I'll just use my 1.5 inch forstner bit. So when I did that, it fits in there pretty good. If you get the hole too deep, it does make it a little bit hard for the candle to come out unless you tap on it. And these were kind of inexpensive where the candle doesn't always even stay in the metal cup. So it was kind of a hassle. But, so I made a few, boards with holes in them and stained them up, and they look nice. And I thought, well, I'm going to buy more. And so I went to Walmart and I bought these candles that, it's 100 in a pack, and they're inexpensive still. But when I brought them home, I measured them, and right on the package it says 1.53 inches. So then whenever I took the candle out and I tried to use that 1.5 inch hole, it didn't fit. And so I looked around on the internet, and one of the big suggestions was a 40 millimeter forstner bit. So I bought that, and when you put that hole in there, of course the 1.53 fits in there really perfect. It's really nice. And then of course the 1.5 inch from the other dollar store is just a little bit of a gap, but still it looks very, very nice. Then I wanted to get a little bit more creative, and you've probably seen these in some of the nicer candle holders that you might buy at a store. It's a little metal cup, and found a place to get some pretty inexpensive on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description down there for you to look at. And so you can buy just the cups by themselves, or you can buy the special forstner bit that you need, because this is again a little bit bigger hole. So it requires a 1 5/8 inch forstner bit. So I've gone through the whole gamut of experimenting, and but it gives me lots of variety. So when you use the 1 5/8 bit, you do have to go deep enough so that the cup fits down, and you'll need to use some kind of adhesive. I use liquid nails. That seems to be pretty good. And then you put that down in there, and then of course either size of the candles that I have fits very nice. So here's an example. Again, this is just a stringer from a piece of pallet, and the 1.53, the Walmart brand, fits down in there nice, and it pops out really, really easy. And then of course you can get creative. This is all kind of rough, just sanded it down. This I actually ran through the planer on both sides, angled it. Yes, you can see that. And again, just get creative with whatever shapes you want. Here's a couple others. This one, now I just used the 40 millimeter because I just wanted to put the candle down there. And you can make it as deep as you want. Just be careful. Of course, this is pretty thin, so you don't want to go down very far. You can make them a little bit bigger. And here's another one. Any scrap piece you can turn into a candle holder. One big suggestion I would make also is I put little felt pad the feet on the bottom of all of them, just so if you put it on a nice table, it's not going to scratch it up. Let's see what else. Okay, so here's another thing. I have this thing, and this goes onto the top of a mason jar, and I filled this up with the shavings from the forstner bits. But you put that on there, and then put the cap back on. You can usually get maybe 3 or 4 of those in a package. There's a variety of places you can get them. You can get them online. I found them at Rural King. I think I may have even found it at Walmart once. But the problem is it only fits the smaller candle. And so, you know, you're kind of limited there. You got to find the right size. Here you go. The candle popped out of the metal. And so it's a little bit of a snug fit. But it looks pretty cool. And you can put all kinds of things in here. Food or jelly beans or, I shouldn't say food, but jelly beans or shavings or, you know, whatever. Be creative. Let's see, what else can I show you? Okay, here's another thing. Just thinking about creativity. So I have a thin board here. One of the things, of course, if you're going to do something like this, you're maybe going to put them out, you know, a certain measurement, be exact. And one thing you can do to be creative, I thought, okay, so this is a milk jug cap, and it's really just about the same size as one of these candles. So what I thought you could do is put a hole in the middle of the cap. I just used a hole punch and just found the hole and poked it through. And then you can freehand or find something that you want to make a shape onto the board. And then once you find your line, just put that center hole on your board wherever you want. And I'm going to change the angle so you can see what I'm talking about. So like I said, you can either freehand a line on the board, or I'm going to do this in a little bit of a curve. Found a lid from one of my storage containers. Put a line on there, and then with your bottle caps, figure out where you want to put the candles. Just use the hole through the cap, spread them out however you like. I'll put one way down here. And then you can either use a pencil to mark it, or what I like to do also is just take my pick and put a little bit of a hole, because then I know my Forstner bit is going to get caught up into that. Whenever I start to drill a hole, it'll find that little point there, and then I can take it to the drill press and I can make my little holes right there. Okay, I want to talk about these tin cups one more time, and what I've noticed, and I don't think you can see it from where the camera is, but the lip of this tin cup, it kind of sticks up just a little bit, and when you put it onto the board, you can see a bit of a gap there, and I don't think that looks very good. So what I wind up doing is I will take a board on the workbench, and let's see, what did I do with my hammer? Put that on the workbench and hold my cup, and I'll just hammer down a little bit. I don't want to get too drastic of a bend in there, but then once I angle it all down, and then I put it into the hole, I can tap it, and it really snugs up. It looks really flush with the board. So there's kind of another tip right there. Another tip I want to show you is on the drill press for safety. So if you're able to, use something that you can poke a hole into the wood so that the tip of the Forstner bit will grab that in, as it goes down. And you can also, hopefully with your drill press, you can set the depth, how deep you want your candle to sit, and that way, if you set the depth here, obviously each hole will be the same across your board. And then what I do is I set that in there, and I just push it down so it'll kind of hold it. Sometimes it stays. And put a little stop block right here, because as you start to drill, of course, it's going to dig into that wood and it's going to want to twist. And if you use a smaller piece of wood, you might have some trouble hanging on to it. So it can be a little bit dangerous. So, stop block, so hopefully set the depth, and then you've got it ready to go. Well, I hope this gives you some ideas on the things that you'd like to do. And if you've never made a tea light candle holder before, just give it a try. Choose the wood that you want. Make sure you've got the right drill bit and the right candle, and go for it. So, If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe, please do that as well. Leave a comment or a suggestion. I really appreciate that. Take care. Have fun.